Welcome to Baldrige, your roadmap to performance excellence.
Every year since its inception in 1987, the Baldrige Performance Excellence Program has identified organizations that have demonstrated quality and performance excellence and recognized them with the Malcolm Baldrige National Quality Award. The 2010 recipients join 84 previous honorees as the best of America's best in manufacturing, service, small business, education, healthcare, and nonprofit.
Companies that use the Baldrige criteria take a hard look at how they manage and operate their organizations. Baldrige applicants receive a feedback report that identifies strengths, weaknesses, and high-impact improvements. While hundreds of organizations participate in the award process, thousands more self-assess using the criteria to drive improvement. Texas has more Baldrige winners than any other state. To date, 93 organizations have received the Baldrige Award. 15 of those organizations are headquartered in Texas. Over a 4-year period, various Texas winners have achieved these results. Some of these companies have less than 100 employees. If they can achieve these kinds of results, so can you. So welcome to an introduction to Baldrige, brought to you by the Baldrige Babes. As Baldrige practitioners, we've used our decades of experience to design this program for organizations taking their first steps to performance excellence. As you watch this overview of our program, we encourage you to look for ideas that apply to your company, think about how you could adapt the program to fit your needs, and above all, use this opportunity to learn more about Baldrige.
Hi, I'm Jennifer, the Baldrige Babes assistant. As you watch this video, we'd like you to think about what areas of performance you most want to improve. What challenges do you face today? Are key tasks taking too long? Do you hear certain customer complaints over and over? Is employee retention a problem? These are the kinds of issues that Baldrige companies tackle and solve on their journeys to performance excellence. We'd like you to keep your own challenges in mind as you watch this video. Consider how using the Baldrige criteria could help improve your performance. Bye for now.
What makes this approach so different? Baldrige starts with the key processes your organization needs for success. Then it takes this model one step further by defining the connections between those processes. This systems perspective helps you tackle organizational barriers and move to higher levels of performance. This is the secret that helps companies move past the initial stages of improvement to a sustainable model of success. We follow process steps every day when we drive to work, stand in line for coffee, or create a report. Our processes provide the basis to perform work consistently. Consistency allows us to measure our work. And measures can be used to drive continuous improvement in all of our work. This PDCA cycle represents the continuous improvement process, which is at the heart of the Baldrige criteria. The improvement cycle begins with planning. We define a process that meets clear customer expectations. In the do phase, we implement the process and collect measurement data. We check the results to see if the process actually meets customer expectations. Then we act to improve the work. To understand our own progress toward continuous improvement, we can analyze our processes using a straightforward process maturity model. Informal processes are the methods we've developed on the fly that work well enough most of the time. But these methods are not documented or consistently followed. Planned processes may use checklists or other forms which people follow, but coordination between work units may be missing. If you've been using the same approach for a long time, it's possible that no one knows if the process still meets customer expectations. Evaluated processes are those that are not only documented and followed, but also have been through several cycles of improvement. And finally, optimized processes have been through major cycles of improvement. The process is designed to support key strategies. This process maturity model is the core of our program. You and your colleagues will evaluate your processes using this model and a simplified version of the Baldrige criteria. We'll start with a discussion of the criteria for the category. This example shows basic criteria questions for the leadership category. Starting with lead in a common direction, we show 6 basic approaches that are critical to successful leadership. Next, we'll discuss each element of the category and what it means to your company. It's important to understand the so what behind the criteria questions. That is, why this approach is important for high performance and what you can gain by adopting it. Then, you and your colleagues will complete the assessment for each department in the company. Finally, you will assess the company as a whole. This example illustrates a completed assessment for the statement, "We set and deploy mission, vision, values, and performance expectations." In this example, process maturity varies from one department to the next, which is often the case. Upon completion of all the assessments, your work will look something like this. Notice that the areas of greatest opportunity are highlighted in red and yellow. The Introduction to Baldrige program consists of 4 sessions. In the first 3 sessions, we'll address the criteria and what it means to your organization. For each category, you will assess your company's processes based on 5 or 6 basic Baldrige criteria questions. In the last session, we'll show you how to identify high-impact improvement opportunities for your organization, and we'll discuss how you can move forward. Who in your company should attend these sessions? Here are some guidelines to consider. Think about who needs to be here to enable a meaningful assessment, to create consensus about areas for improvement, and to foster action after you have completed the sessions. Here is how you and your colleagues can participate in the program. Now, we'll let a Baldrige recipient explain why the journey is worthwhile and the kind of payback you can expect.
At the front door of our hospital there is a sign, "Welcome all to this place of healing." We really try to live up to that promise where all of our patients will be cared for in a very healing way.
Look a little bit better, your color's a little bit better, okay? We're going to get your family in just a minute, okay?
Because we're in healthcare, we want to provide literally the best clinical practices and health outcomes to our patients. And in fact, Good Samaritan Hospital has been able to achieve some of the best clinical outcomes in American healthcare. So in 2004, we launched a journey. We called that journey Moving from Good to Great. And the underlying purpose of that journey was to become the best place for physicians to practice, associates to work, and patients to receive care. To use a Baldrige term, our core competency is building loyal relationships, both with physicians, patients, associates, and the community. When we measure our patients for their level of satisfaction, in most areas, our patients rate us above the 90th percentile. It's a great place to receive care. And in our latest physician satisfaction survey, our doctors rated us at the 97th percentile as a great place to practice medicine. It's never been about the award, but maybe it's been about being award worthy. We embraced the Baldrige approach, and we wrote the application, and we experienced the very intensive examiner site survey. We did all that because we felt it would make us a better organization. What really motivates most of us at Good Sam is how proud we are together as a team that we're able to deliver some of the best health outcomes in America and to do it in a very caring and compassionate way.
Congratulations to Advocate Good Samaritan Hospital. It has taken its place on the honor roll of Malcolm Baldrige National Quality Award recipients, taken its place among the best organizations the United States has to offer.
We hope you've enjoyed our video and had a chance to think about how Baldrige can help your company. The next step is easy. Contact the Baldrige Babes to sign up for our Introduction to Baldrige seminar and get started on your journey. We'd love to hear from you. Bye for now.